Hello everyone, it is Leon here again, and I'm with Dave.
Hello.
Who has been playing Crysis 3. So what are we seeing here? This is what you've actually played.
Yeah, I played this recently, and this is basically a section which is set in a flooded district of Chinatown. The twist for Crysis 3 is it kind of combines the kind of jungle settings of the first game with the New York setting of the second game. So how they've done this is it's basically 24 years after Crysis 2. The kind of evil aliens and Shell Corporation have set up something called the New York City Liberty Dome, which is basically, if you've seen the Simpsons movie, it's like a massive
dome,
in which, you know, the city's essentially turned into a massive greenhouse within this. So that's why you see here you've got a mix of the urban settings with that kind of jungle vibe of the first game, which is interesting for gameplay because it kind of gives you the verticality of like scaling buildings in the second game. But it really aids the stealth now because there's a lot more, you know, vegetation and long grass to crawl through, which is
it looks
good
a lot
for your
sorry,
nano suit cannon, I should say.
I mean, it looks a lot more open straight away because obviously New York, it was set. You know, you had the skyscrapers. You were in corridors a lot of the time, wide corridors, and you had options. But this,
I mean, there's a certain.
You can see it opens out either side.
There's a certain rigidity because of the, you know, essentially you're just going down avenues in the second game essentially. But this is, it feels like, you know, these kind of quite open, compressed little sandboxes. And this area was excellent. I really thoroughly enjoyed this last week. I felt like there were a lot of different ways to approach your targets. You know, it was perfectly viable to either, you know, going with your crossbow and just sneak through the grass and, you know, engage your predator style camo, or, you know, you could take the high ground, use your kind of jumpy legs to get up high, scout out the terrain ahead, again, you know, use your sniping bow. So it really feels like the environment gives you a lot of gameplay possibilities.
Have they made any changes at all to sort of the way the nanosuit works?
Yes, well, the nanosuit, I think, crucially and very wisely from a stealth perspective. In the last game, whenever you basically fired your gun in camouflage mode, you basically take it immediately out of that, so you're only camouflaged as long as you weren't shooting, which is kind of defeats the purpose of being like a badass invisible hunter. So thankfully this time you can, you know, you can engage your guns while in camouflage mode, so it's a lot more, it stealth's even more viable than it was in the last game. It's actually interesting listening to Crytek's CEO talk about the decision to take it into this more like kind of cross-pollination between urban and kind of jungle environments, because he described it as feeling a lot more natural, and he actually said that they thought they made Crysis 2 a little too choreographed, and that some players didn't appreciate that.
Talks about the fans' sort of feedback was they wanted more of the first game.
It's just a shame that the old Seth are still the roles of generic squiddy aliens.
I don't know, I quite like them. I think there's something kind of unfamiliar about their outline that I quite enjoy. But so presumably the Seth we're fighting, these are the same ones that have been there from the first game. Have they just been hanging around?
Yeah, I mean, they've certainly evolved. There's some real big kind of convoluted plot contrivance where they've been on Earth for tens of thousands of years, but they've only just shown up recently.
Like War of the Worlds style, they were always buried underground.
But you should probably only take as much attention to that as any plot, and I'm sure it deserves.
Cool. So, I mean, overall, your impressions of it?
Yeah, I'm thoroughly impressed. It feels more open than the last game. The stealth's very satisfying. The crossbow's amazing, and it looks beautiful.
Cool. Lovely. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.